saying someone paid her money and went for Burna Boy's show in Houston, right? And then all because she stayed up while the show was supposed to start, and he didn't come. He came like 4 hours later. Then she was already tired and already sleepy. He came up and saw her sleeping and told her and ordered that she should leave the place, and that if she doesn't leave, that he was not going to continue performing. Come on. Anyways, me with my own money, I heard they paid like $30 per one person for a ticket. Me with my own money? What? Anyway, just watch this video. I'll be back with a commentary.
Up here and I see you over there with your girl sleeping in front of me. It pisses me the fuck off, bro.
Down.
You understand? So please take her the fuck home.
Down.
Fast.
Down.
Take her home. Bro, I'm not doing no more song until you take her home, bro. Real life. But you're taking the fucking piss, bro. Wallahi, I'm not doing another song till you go home. Wallahi.
If you thought the next thing coming out of Burna Boy's mouth after he kicked that poor girl out of his concert for sleeping was an apology, you were sadly mistaken. For a little bit of context, Burna Boy was performing in Denver last week when he paused his show mid-song and pointed out a girl in the audience and was like, "You are sleeping and it's pissing me off, you need to go home." From there, security goes up to the girl and her partner and escorts them out of the venue, which sounds like a lawsuit to me. Now, obviously this clip went viral on social media because who do you think you are? But then on top of that, the girl spoke out and was like, he had no idea what I was going through. This was incredibly embarrassing. She says her daughter's father passed away and she went to that concert just looking for a little bit of joy, but it's a little hard to get some joy when the artist comes out 4 or 5 hours late. Burna Boy's been getting dragged through the mud for this because honestly, how dare you? But he was on live stream last night and basically addressed the situation head on. Someone in the stream asked him about it. He responded and basically was like, "I did not ask any of y'all to be my fans. I'm only looking for fans with money right now." He goes on to say, "There are people who have attended my shows that have beaten cancer, that are going through some real serious stuff, and no one's ever fallen asleep." And then he adds on that it's my show and I can do what I want. Now, this situation is particularly shocking to me because I would be taken aback if Beyonce were to do something like this. We're talking about Burna Boy here. I admit that I am possibly spoiled with my artist. My favorite artist is not someone who gets on the stage and jumps around and yells into the mic. My favorite artist is someone who puts a lot of thought and intentionality into every single aspect of her concerts. And I actually am a fan of Burna Boy's music. For a while, I was really trying to get to a Burna Boy concert. I saw him live. I think it was on Coachella. I saw him on the live stream and I was like, that suffices. Y'all are giving these artists entirely too much. It is one thing that these artists are getting in front of y'all on these stages, standing in one spot, jumping around, yelling, not vocal trained, not working out, not in shape, can't even keep up the lyrics, can't remember their lyrics. And on top of that, they have a bad attitude. Like I said, I'm probably very spoiled because my fave is none of the things that I just mentioned. On top of that, she's not hours late to her shows. I missed the opening act for Cowboy Carter because I thought she was going to be late and she said, "Girl, this is a professional show that we are running. We are on time here." I say all that to say, I think a lot of these artists are walking around with a little too much dip on their chip, especially to be giving y'all the bare minimum.
So Burna Boy has moved from this to this to this.
So please take her the fuck home. Fast now. Take her home. Bro, I'm not doing no more song until you take her home, bro. Real life. But you're taking the fucking piss, bro. Bro, hurry up, man. Wallahi, I'm not doing another song till you go home. Wallahi.
And it goes on and on and on and on. Recently, the one that pained me the most was when he came outside to say that he doesn't need broke fans.
I tell you, see me come out my fans. For fans who get money this
Of course, this happened after the incident in Denver when he asked the fan to leave with her boyfriend for sleeping at his concert. I'm a Burna Boy fan. I'm also an outsider, and I have to tell Burna Boy that he is doing something that he's going to regret in the long run. Of course, we have seen the transition over time of where people have said and called him different things, called him rude, and he's actually proving them right. And what I'm about to ask myself, and always ask myself, is that doesn't Burna Boy have anybody who actually talks to him? Is it that they talk or he doesn't listen? And I can say for certain that this is why the general public still believes that Wizkid is the legend and the king of Afrobeats, despite all the effort that Burna Boy has put into the Nigerian music industry. We have seen different times where Burna Boy delivered time and time again with his albums, from Outside to African Giants to Twice as Tall to No Sign of Weakness, Love Damini, I Told Them album, and so on and so forth. Delivered concrete, solid music. Burna Boy doesn't drop any album that's less than 15 tracks. And of course, you know that more than 90% of the songs are going to be exceptional. He has put in the work in touring. He has collected Grammy for himself, also representing Africa, knighting himself the African Giants. But one thing Burna Boy failed to understand is that the power lies in the hands of the people. If the people don't say that you are it, if they don't say that you are the giant of Afrobeat, if they don't say that you are their number one, there is nothing you can do. Of course, Machala was given to Wizkid by people, and Udogu was given to you by yourself. I like your confidence, mad one. I like it. I even have that charisma, but you need to understand that this is a game of numbers, my brother. And when you come outside and diminish even your fans who are listening on probably Audio Mac, or who are even downloading your song, which are the real fans, and you're calling them broke, knowing that your country is having an existential crisis, financial crisis, and economic crisis, and then you're hurting their feelings. You are forcing people to switch lanes based on emotion. And for people like us, we might not really have a problem with it, because we like good music and we don't really care the vessel through which it comes. But there are some people definitely that are going to not be your fans. And from what you're saying, you're comfortable with it. But I promise you, you can be using the money now to be buying Lambo, but at some point you won't really get the fulfillment that Wizkid and David are getting just because of character. Please let me know in the comment section what you think about Burna Boy's character all through the years, for the past 6 years now that he has been in the limelight. Have you been satisfied with it, or are you displeased by it?
I'm so glad that people are finally seeing Burna Boy the way that I've seen him for years, okay? Because I've had a one-sided beef with this man since 3 years ago, I believe. I was in Lagos. He had a concert. He had hosted a concert for New Year's Eve. And the whole thing was that he was coming home and he was hosting a concert for his people. It started, I believe, at 10 p.m. The man didn't show up till 4 a.m. Okay? At like 1:30, 2 a.m., I looked at my mom, I looked at my cousins, I was like, let's go, because it had become a mosh pit. It had become so dangerous, and it just felt so disrespectful. Apparently, he showed up at 4 a.m. and he started insulting people. Yeah, he started insulting people. And in my mind, I was like, we need to have more self-respect as Nigerians. He should have showed up to an empty stadium. Like, nobody should have been there. And thank God the people of Houston have some self-respect. Because the way this man has been biting the hand that feeds for so long, he is so disrespectful to Nigerians. And he is so disrespectful whenever he performs in Nigeria that I've spent 3 years just biting my tongue, being like, I don't know why people even give this man the time of the day or any attention or any respect. He does not respect his fans. He does not like his fans. He looks down on his fans. He insults his fans. He told people that apparently people were talking shit about his mom or something like that. I don't give a fuck. I don't know who your mom is, sir. Show up to a concert that people paid for you to perform. Like, I think he forgets that, like, he's like we're paying you for a service. You need to provide that service. You were like, me personally, I'm beefing with him forever.
This is what happens when you are not humble in life. When you're not humble, this is the outcome of it. Because now people ain't fucking with you, Burna Boy. You wanted to kick out the woman for sleeping, not knowing what she had gone through. Now you're going to suffer and now you're going to lose money from it. That's your own business. Sometimes when people actually forget where they come from and forget the struggle that they went through in order to reach the success that they're fulfilling now, this is why God always says to remain humble. Because what God can give, what's the answer? Oh, he can take it away. And look how many, look. Come look. There's barely anyone there to see you. And this is Burna Boy we are talking about. Burna Boy, who has sold out many arenas before in the past. People ain't fucking with you right now because you wanted to be greedy. You wanted to think you're above the program. Ain't nobody above anybody. You don't know what that woman had gone through. You don't know what she had went through. And the fact that you kicked her out for sleep, and she paid her hard-earned money to come see you. If she wanted to sleep throughout the whole of the thing, then she could have slept. If you're coming out late or if you're just not doing your part, cool. Then, okay, she's sleeping. That means to her, maybe you're not performing your best. Or maybe she's just tired. But that's her money. I would have, you know what? Security would have literally had to drag me. They would have to drag me out. I'm paying my money and you're telling me to get out. I would have sat there. I would have said, and you know what? All the pick-me people that was like, get out. Nah, you lot should have supported. You lot were there. I know you're there to see Burna Boy, but you should have supported that woman there, man. Foul play.
Yeah, he need to relax. Clearly, folks are not taking it lightly. We're seeing the domino effect. He just had a show in Houston, Texas. That Houston show, when I tell y'all, that show was so empty. He didn't even use the top nosebleed area. But even in that, it was still practically empty. Mind you, the stage on the floor took up 3/4 of the floor area, and it was still practically empty. People are not taking this lightly. One of my homeboys was reselling a ticket at the last minute, a good seat, for $30. $30? If you would have sold a Burna Boy ticket 4 years ago for $13, folks would real life have a sparring match over them tickets. Nobody bought them $30 tickets. Mind you, in Houston, along with Atlanta and the DMV, is among the top places that's always messed with Burna Boy. But weird folks are not taking this situation lightly, bro. It's like we're literally seeing the fall of a African giant, no pun intended. It seems like a pattern of things always happening with Burna. You got him kicking the fan out, then him doubling down on it, saying he doesn't make music for broke fans, disrespecting folks' religions, which is never a smart play. That one situation of the husband and the wife and his security, I'm not even gonna get into that one. What I'm saying is, no artist is invincible, bro. Start showing traces that you're low-key not the best person that we thought you were. Folks will real life show you that they don't rock with that. Again, that Houston show was so empty.
Sorry, what's
Shout out to homegirl. I heard that Burna Boy show in Houston the other night looked like a dud.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I mean, if the footage online is true, looked like the emptiest show he's ever had.
Yeah.
But you can't just be saying shit out here.
Yeah. Words got consequences.
You can't just be saying shit out here.
What did he say? Fuck with broke fans. He was arguing with a fan, more or less.
And I ain't gonna lie, sometimes the big hit will hurt you. Like, since that last live, now everybody shadow, like they start expecting you to start producing like that at that clip. And if you don't, I don't think Burna Boy's had a record anywhere near that record. He's been on joints.
Yeah, he been on joints. He got joints though.
When you set the bar so high for yourself early, they start looking at you to produce that way. Not just fans, but the labels. It hurts. It hurts. So, shout out to Burna Boy.
Yeah, good luck.
Sure he still puts on a good show if he's not being an absolute dickhead. I need to shut up. I think he was trying to clear one of my records. I need to shut up.
You own it?
Huh?
You own it?
Yeah. Like a mixtape.
He said one of them, like, you don't know which one it is.
Yeah. It was like, no, let me not say. What else? Money Long seems to be shading Mariah Carey. I don't know if that's the greatest idea. This stems from when Money Long did the Mariah tribute at the awards when she sung
Burna Boy would have to drag me by my nyash for me to leave that concert. Are you crazy or what? What the hell do you mean you're not going to continue performing until I leave that concert? Me, I'll even snore louder. I'll bring a pillow if I have to. Us Nigerians are never beating the ego stereotype because that woman was not causing a disturbance. Why are you getting rid of her? I love Burna Boy, but this is why I always say I can never meet my heroes, because if that was me, I will activate right there. What do you mean you're trying to get rid of me because I'm sleeping? I've already paid for my ticket. For those of you who are unaware, this is typical Burna Boy behavior. he's been doing this. He will kick you out for no dancing. If you plan on going to a Burna Boy concert and you're at the front row, you better be leg working like your life depends on it. Do you know what it means to be able to catch sleep at the front row of a concert? That woman must have been flipping tired. Me, I would have stood my ground. I'm not going anywhere. I'll even take the piss and put on an eye mask and go straight back to bed. You will have to forcefully remove me from my seat. If you like, gather all your security, tow me to a truck. I'm not leaving unless I get a full refund and an Uber back home. Rema is over here giving out Birkin bags whilst this one is making demands like a Nigerian politician. You can't sleep and you have to be dancing like your life depends on it, otherwise you're getting kicked out. Don't make me activate.
Like, right?
I thought you guys said Burna Boy can't be cancelled. I thought you guys said it can't happen. I'm checking the weather. Seems like cancer to me. Yo! Your fans, the ones that said he wasn't cancelled, y'all didn't buy enough tickets. You should have bought enough tickets to shut us up. Us haters, us Lambo haters, us shower people, us shower girls, you should have bought tickets. Yo, Dogu needs you.
The truth is, it's really, really sad. It's really, really unfair. But the thing is, Burna Boy has always been like this. He has also been like this to the black community. I think he was invited to Essence Fest where he made some nasty comments about black Americans. You know, I think that was where I cancelled Burna Boy. Burna Boy is someone who feels so highly of himself. I don't even know why, right? I don't know why. I don't know why people keep rating him more than every other artist in, you know, Africa and all of that. And that thing has gotten into his head, right? When he behaved this way, this thing he did, he never showed any remorse. I could remember seeing Rihanna commented and she said, this is so not good. And so many other people, so many other celebrities also, you know, cancelled him for what he did. And they're like, no, this is not good. But he said he doesn't give a damn, that he doesn't care what people feel about his shows, that he can't be having a show and then you come to his show because you paid money and then you say you start sleeping, that after all you pay for school fees and you will go into an exam hall and write the exam. It doesn't matter if you like the course or not, you are going to write it regardless. He gave so many nasty, you know, excuses why no one is allowed to sleep on the show. Even while the person he asked to leave the show came to the show because she was depressed. She lost the father of her daughter and she was just looking for something to while away time with, and she was already tired, sitting down there waiting for the boy only for him to come and they disgraced her like that. Please, how is this thing done? I think she was supposed to sue him or something, because that's really embarrassment and that's really bad. Anyways, it happened that way and a lot of people cancelled him, right? Because right now he's touring America and, you know, 2 of his shows already flopped. He had the venue empty seats. He had empty seats in the venue, and then he came up to do some posts and he made some kind of apology that he's sorry and he's not sorry, that he will not tolerate people sleeping in his show. Anyways, I don't know why I'm giving this an audience, but I feel so irritated. I feel so sad. I feel so angry. But there's something I know about this life. You see, pride will always go before a fall. God, in the Bible, God said it in his words that he will always resist the proud and give grace to the simple. And I think with this thing that he's been doing and this one that has gone this viral, this will be his end. Because I don't know what you will be going for a show of someone who behaves this way. Right? Even though I know some people are very insensitive, they don't care. Some people will always attend his show no matter what. But this is really bad, and I believe that this should be his end. I really don't like praying for people's end, but the thing is, if you are not a good person, you should be treated right. You should be punished, and that is what he deserves. Let me just stop here because I'm even pissed at this point.